Okay? Then it's going to say, hey, you want the latest version on all this to update? You can do that. I don't need to do that right now. For the purpose of this assignment, this works fine. So I'm going to go ahead and paste in that link right there. And I'm going to click Attack. Alright? So everything under this is going to get scanned by OWASP. And as you see, I already got a medium, two mediums, bunch of lows. This will take a while. It's going to take a little bit longer than an Nmap scan, but not as long as OpenBox. Okay? This is going through every last page, every last image, everything in the directories under Apache associated. If there's any links, it will go and find that link and branch off. Okay? And basically it's what we call a spider. Alright. So at the end of the day, over here on the left-hand side, alright, you'll get a listing of all of the potential vulnerabilities. You can also go to the alerts tabs and you can see everything increment. Right? This is a big one actually out in the industry. I don't know if you can see this or not. X-frame option header. This is a very common medium vulnerability. Okay? That comes up on a lot of vulnerability scans during pen tests. And it's easy to mitigate in both Apache and IIS. You just basically go into the server and you go into the header section and you throw in a couple of lines of code to ensure that X-frames are not passed, all right, to a cookie back to the client, back to the browser. Why is that? Because that is one of the main to-dos in doing a cross-site script attack. Okay, so working with your X-frame headers from a defensive position here, okay, easy to do. You have to restart the web services, so you have to restart the HTTPD daemon in Apache, or you'll have to restart the site in IIS on a Windows server. But it's a really easy win to get off of your vulnerability scans. Okay, it's still going. Eventually, I think we will come up with one high or something like that. When it's all done and it's no longer incrementing, take a screenshot of that. Try to find somewhere within your spider, your medium, your highest vulnerability, and paste that. All right? That's 20 points. Then find another site. Go back to Metasploitable, find another site. Find a site that's on a different web page that is on a different port other than port 80. That's fine too. Do a scan of that site. All right, and crawl that. And then I need a screenshot of that. You have to close down OpenBoss, open it back up, do your scan, and get your screen capture. Questions on that? You guys are just really not talkative, or I'm a really, really good teacher. I don't know what it is. That or you're just like, man, I just don't want to deal with this stuff much around. It's like, my other class is like super talkative. They're a bunch of chatty ones. No questions? None at all. Yes?
We just reset that.
Once it's all done, see how it's still incrementing? Let it finish. Oh, did it just finish? No. At least let it, go on for a while. So this application error disclosure, that's bad. You can find that. That's on that TWO wiki topic list. You can go in. This is for your own benefit. I'm just looking for a screenshot that you actually did the scan. You should get a few mediums. You may get a high, depends on what website you pick. There are some in there that will give you a red flag. Okay? But once you're all done, yeah, a screenshot of this somewhere, and that's fine. Alright? So, bonus content. Now, oh boy, come on today. We did that in-map scan, as you remember. So, in going through this, we should have found there it is. This port right here. .3306 MySQL. If you're ever doing a pen test, or you're working on a pen test or a vulnerability scan from the outside of a network, from the internet, coming in through a firewall, through intrusion detection system, etc., you find that port, it's like score, 3-pointer, right? From downrange. That's a big red flag. You should not see an open database port from the internet. That's bad news. Okay? That's some network security engineer or compliance officer not doing their job. Okay? So, one of the applications to kind of take advantage of that, all right, is SQL map. So under 4, database assessment, we go to SQL map. It's going to open up a terminal and basically give us our help page. Okay? From that, all the way back up to the top here, you can see basic commands that you can run against the IP and the SQL program. Again, this is bonus material. You don't have to do this for any homework. You can incorporate it into your Lab 3. That's totally fine. But I kind of wanted to cover it a little bit. All right, operating system access. These options can be used to access the backend database management system underlying the operating system. All right, so there's --os-shell. All right. So if we Google that, SQL --os. Okay, so there's a good SQL wiki on GitHub. Okay, that can give you a lot of simple commands. All right, so here they're going to do just a simple get ID. So this is your target SQL URL. We need to look for something from a PHP standpoint. There's a little bit of footprinting that's got to be involved here. So bring up your bestest friend, your browser. Okay? And if you go into phpMyAdmin, find a wrong one. You can find a specific page, copy it, then do an SQL map command. So it'll be SQL map -u and then that URL you want to throw down there. So that's kind of like one of the simplest commands you can do. Honestly, I think it's going to look for that question mark with the PHP. You want to try URI injections, that's fine. It's kind of a general one. So you have no get parameters, which is that question mark. Without providing any post parameters through options, -- data. Target URL content is not stable. SQL map will base the page comparison on sequence matcher. So it's going to look at okay. So the hard part here is trying to find a PHP page with the question mark in it on the front end. So here's another. Multi-day may give you that. Go into some of the content areas. Ah, you there. That looks cool. Let's try that one. So we take that content, go back to SQL map. Let's just go back to the HTTP, paste that content in. Now you see we have that index page. What?
You got HTTP twice.
Oh, my bad. Thank you very much. Woo! There we go. So tested parameters do not appear to be injectable. Okay. So what it was doing basically, you see this login page. This as a form, it was testing SQL injection based on input that it could automatically do within those fields. So that's the crux of using the tool SQL. Okay, if it would have found something, it would have returned a positive result. There are also switches in there, just like with InMap, where you can actually dump the return into a file, right? Pretty easily. All right, so this is just one of those other mechanisms for doing a scan or footprinting or doing a simple attack on a back-end database that is accessible from the internet. Okay. Now, if you find the SQL port there, great. If you don't, still have the form. You need to look at the PHP question for the PHP question mark tag. And that's when you know that okay, this might be susceptible to SQL injection. So that was your bonus content for the evening. Hopefully, it was informative. You guys look like it. Any other questions? All right, cool. I don't have anything else for y'all. Do you have any questions on labs at all or anything else? We've gone through some of the stuff for Metasploitable. gone through some of the stuff for obviously the Windows lab and everything else. How is everybody progressing on the lab? We did that, or some of us just haven't looked. Man, it's only week 7, man. I'm not saying yet. Come on, right? Oh yeah, I see you back there. I was like, oh man, I need those. I used to sit in those seats. Come on.
We'll have one due next week.
Huh?
We'll have one due next week.
I have one is due next week.
Next Sunday?
Sunday. Right? So, yeah. Now, here's the thing with this class. That's a pacing guide, right? Because I don't want you to come up and have all 4 labs, done in week 10. Because that just means I grade angry. I don't want to grade angry. So that's kind of a suggestion to you. Now, if you don't have it all done, don't turn it in, right? But if you're like 90% of the way done, you're like, man, I just can't get number 7. God, this thing sucks. Well, that's your, you having problems with number 7?
Oh no.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh wow, I struck the board. Give yourself a little bit of time. That's fine. I don't mind. But once you turn it in, it's turned in. Okay? There's no go backs. You understand that? On the labs, there's no go backs. Once it's turned in, it's turned in. So take your time with it. I'm not gonna, knock anybody off points because you didn't turn in lab 1 next week. All right? I don't even think I have the labs time out. I'll double check that in all the classes though. All right? All right, if you got no other questions, get out of here. I'm gonna go home and go to bed. I'm tired.